JWT. I was part of a panel about, in light of research transformation, where are we going to find the skill in people to answer the demands of business today. And I guess the highlights of the talk were about some thinking about what's the skill sets people need, do the skills overlap, and I think there was a general consensus that it is difficult to find what some of the speakers called the bionic researcher that thinks equally comfortably left and right brain. I like to call that the people who think middle-brained. We have a hard time finding them. One interesting piece was that some people are using teams of people to sort of get at this. So in the creative world, it's almost like a creative team. We're using people who are good at the discipline of research, the methods, the ways we do this, but also at connecting the dots, the insight part. It seemed that Donna was talking about on the sort of manufacturer side, they're putting teams together to figure out how to plug that into the business. So it feels like, I don't know that we have an answer for where the talent's going to come from, but I think we're feeling like finding someone that has the right set of skills moving forward may be the wrong way at looking at the problem. I think we can find people who know how to do very siloed methodologies to address specific issues. What we don't have are people that are comfortable with the new world order, which is the mess of data that's coming at us. And what we need are people who are comfortable synthesizing multiple data streams simultaneously, and those data streams require different skills. So it's hard to find someone who can really synthesize things they've never worked in, but feel comfortable doing that. And that's why sometimes I think we may need to pair up teams to get that done. What we found too is it's not just designing a research program or looking at the data, but it's the whole process. So we'll have a questionnaire brainstorming session, something that may sound fairly straightforward, but I find when we sit around with people who are closer to the creative process, the way they articulate the questions inspires my team about thinking about different ways we can ask questions that are pretty far from the traditional sort of question stream you'll see in a quantitative survey. So it is collaborative, but it's collaborative through the whole process. The title of our panel, which is where's the talent going to come from, which implies, I think, that we have to shift where we look for people. So we find people that have this new paradigm skill set. And I think that's the wrong way to look at it, that we're going to find one person that has it. Rather, how am I going to hire strategically within a department such that I have all the skill represented, and how do I mix and match on different engagements, projects, issues I'm trying to tackle, such that I'm bringing the right skills to the table when I need to. Like I said in the panel, it's not dissimilar from what I see at the agency with how creative art directors and copywriters work together, and they play off each other and they build on it, and what they end up with is something that neither could do by themselves, but together really answers the brief. Researchers get over enamored with what they did to get where they got, and they feel that because they're excited about that, they want to share that with the people they're talking to. And the key is to remember no one cares but you, and it has to be told, right? I mean, we talk about writing research reports where the first slide is like the opening paragraph of a good novel, right? It's got to grab you, it's got to pull you, and it's got to make everyone lean forward. Where's this going, right? I mean, it is storytelling, right? And a story has a structure, and it's got, you know, an antagonist, and it's got a protagonist, and we set it up that way almost exactly, right? Where there is a brand that is the protagonist, and what's the problem we're trying to solve for, what's the situation and the context, and we tell it like a story. And people engage with it. You can see them light up when you start talking that way, as opposed to what I think is the traditional belief, which is, and then we talked about purchase interest, and here are the numbers, right? It's almost like the fewer charts, the better, the more the story, the better.